We live in a world with all sorts of homes that come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. We've got the luxurious penthouses, humongous ranches, and whatever this thing is. But few countries have the sort of crazy property variety you can find in the United States. It's not all mansions and penthouses. Sometimes it's bigger mansions and penthouses. So join us as we take a look at the most expensive homes the United States has to offer. Get ready to call your accountant, because some of these homes are ripe for the taking. Number 8. Gemini, $115 million. To start us off, we'll be heading to Florida and checking out one of the largest and most expensive properties the state has to offer, Gemini. Located in the small town of Manalapan, in the south of Palm Beach, this lovely bit of real estate was built back in 2002, and it's been making its way to top 10 lists ever since. If there's any property in Florida worth enough to crack the $100 million threshold, it's Gemini. And I'm not just saying that because of its cool name. This property covers about 16 acres of ocean-facing property, so it's not just flashy, it's massive as well. And the designers of this place really put that extra space to work. There's a massive pool, a dock, and an entire PGA standard putting green on the property. And that's before I even mention the massive mansion that sits in the middle of this place. The main mansion has a whole 62,200 square feet of living space. It has 33 bedrooms, 38 bathrooms, and 14 half baths. Some people might say this home is pretty freaking big, but aren't we all tiny in the massive expanse of the universe? Just kidding, this place is massive. That's not all Gemini has to offer. I haven't even mentioned the 7-bedroom guest house and the network of underground tunnels that run through this place. If you're surprised Gemini is so low on the list, you should stick around. It gets crazier. Number 7. Owlwood Estate, $180 million. Smack dab in the middle of Holmby Hills, Los Angeles, is an estate with a name straight out of a fantasy novel. Listed for a somewhat disagreeable $180 million on the market, this home isn't just a storied part of Holmby Hills. It's got quite a lot of secondhand star power too, all from nothing more than the sheer amount of rich and famous people that have lived in the place. Top players like 20th Century Fox chairman Joseph Schneck, oil tycoon William Keck, and Hotel Bel Air founder Joseph Drown, to celebrities like Sonny and Cher. It was even owned by real estate developer Robert Shapiro, who got sent to prison for a $1.3 billion Ponzi scheme. Ooh la la, am I right? The home itself is an Italian-style villa covering about 12,000 square feet of space in total. It might not be the biggest mansion around, but it's got those little touches of luxury real estate agents point at. Stuff like a marble fireplace, crystal chandeliers, and the stuff that'll make your wallet hurt. 24-karat gold bath fixtures. You've also got your tennis court, your pool, and whatever else you want to put on the 10 acres of prime property you get when you purchase this place. Ultimately though, despite how mouth-watering it was to purchase this home for $180 million, the market thought otherwise, and after languishing for a while, it ended up getting sold for $88 million instead. Number 6. Casa Encantada, $225 million. Located in the first place anyone looks when you want to find all the mega mansions and crazy estates in the US, Bel Air, California. The Casa Encantada, or House of Enchantment, was built in 1938 by some very wealthy people, which is saying a lot, seeing as how this was during the Great Depression. We all know nothing makes you happier than a massive 40,000 square feet mega mansion. This property once earned itself the title of most expensive home in the United States, back when it was put up for sale in October of 2019 for a massive $225 million. For such a crazy asking price, what Willy Wonka-esque fantasy land would you be getting when you purchase this House of Enchantment? Well, sorry to burst your bubble. It turns out the Casa Encantada is just your ordinary, everyday mega mansion. But hey, it's got a couple of saving graces. On top of the 40,000 square feet of living space, it has 60 rooms, which include a reception hall with 18-foot ceilings, several living rooms, and an indoor bar. There are a few amenities as well. A huge pool house that comes with its own bar, a couple places to exercise, like a tennis court and a basketball court, and a couple actually enchanting places, like a greenhouse, a rose garden, and koi ponds. Now I can officially say, there are fish out there living more luxurious lives than me. Number 5. Fairfield Pond Estate, $250 million. Next, we have a truly insane home, a piece of American real estate so fancy it belongs on a Netflix series about English royals. Located in the Hamptons, because of course it is, this estate bucks the trend of having one luxurious mansion sitting on a massive tract of land. Nope, this time it's actually 4 different houses, and when combined, they cover a total of 110,000 square feet of space, all sitting on 63 acres of land. The property comes with what I would charitably describe as too much space, but I guess that's debatable. Who knows, you might want to live with 3 generations of your extended family. There are 21 bedrooms and 18 bathrooms here, and plenty of amenities, of course. You could use either of the 2 bowling alleys, 2 pool houses, and a playhouse for the kids to have fun at when they're bored. Or you could just send them out to the vast expanse of grass that makes up this property. 1 lap around this place, that'll knock them out. This property is a little bit mysterious. There isn't too much out there about it. Even estimates of the cost vary wildly, all the way from $250 million to $500 million. To top it all off, the property tax on this place alone is allegedly $650,000 every year. Truly worthy of at least a Netflix cameo. Number 4. Mesa Vista Ranch, $250 million. Texas has its own share of expensive homes and estates. They don't say everything's bigger in Texas for no reason, and very few homes are as expensive or as Texan as Mesa Vista Ranch. Owned by the late oil prospector and hedge fund founder, Boone Pickens, he put a large part of his $500 million net worth into the acquisition of this property, which was quite the investment, considering this property is about large enough to fit an entire small town. The mansion sitting in the middle of this place certainly isn't the largest thing around, especially in comparison to the whopping 64,800 acres that make up the rest of the ranch. Honestly, I probably didn't even have to mention this ranch is in Texas, did I? As for the main mansion, well, it's not lacking either. The home spans about 33,000 square feet, in case you didn't already feel small enough living on this ranch. It comes decked out with the classics: a home theater big enough to seat 30 people with an adjoining popcorn room, and a dining room large enough to fit 40 people, to name a couple. Obviously, that's not where the luxury ends with this bad boy. There's an 11,500 square foot lake house on the property, roughly 12 miles of water running through the ranch, topped off with man-made waterfalls, creeks, and lakes. You can also find a fleet of vehicles available to drive you around the ranch, fire trucks in case of emergency, and a freaking airport hangar. All that's left is a mill and a cotton gin to make it a proper town. Number 3. West Creek Ranch, $279 million. Next up, we have a property that isn't just one of America's most expensive listings. It's also mind-bogglingly massive. If you thought Mesa Vista Ranch was huge, well, hold on to your socks. This place is made up of 4 distinct parcels of land and covers an astounding 8,700 acres. It's so big, it stretches from Colorado to Utah. The property belongs to Discovery Channel founder John Hendricks. He originally purchased the place back in the 1990s, eventually accumulating more and more land, and he just kept going apparently. When you aren't getting lost in the expansive wilderness that is this ranch, you can stay in the humble 22,000 square foot main home, known as the West Creek Ranch Residence, or in one of the numerous separate resort-style guest lodges. There are a total of 72 rooms on this property, so you're kinda spoiled for choice. The West Creek Ranch Residence boasts 8 bedrooms and 8 bathrooms across the home's 4 floors, and you've got your little extra touches as well, like a 2-story circular stone library, a movie theater, a swimming pool, and spa. Alongside that, there's a 400 square foot observatory, 2 helipads, and a hangar, because how else are you getting around this place? Well, you could always head on over to the car museum filled with Hendricks' vintage car collection, which is also located on this property. Surely everyone's gonna want a piece of this place, right? Well, this gargantuan piece of real estate was first on the market back in 2017, with an asking price of $149 million, but somehow failed to sell, which someone is gonna have to explain to me in the comments. I've seen penthouses sell for twice the price of this ranch. The owner must have thought the same thing, because back in 2019, they relisted the property with a nice little $130 million added on, bumping it up to $279 million. Yet somehow the property failed to attract buyers, which will surprise me forever. Number 2. The Chartwell Estate, $350 million. With a name like that, you know it's gonna be on this list. And like some of the homes on this list, this estate was also once one of the most expensive homes in the US. Located in Bel Air, California, because where else is it gonna be? The Chartwell Estate was owned by the late TV executive Gary Perry. Thanks to him, we had a massive estate worth $350 million. The mansion sat on the market waiting for takers. Eventually, it got scooped up for less than half the price, $150 million. As for the details of this place, well, it's designed in a very sexy 18th century French neoclassical style and covers over 25,000 square feet of living space, all sitting on 10 acres of land. It isn't just big for nothing either. This estate is big enough to fit a swimming pool, a guest house, and a garage big enough to fit 40 cars. Other fancy amenities that bump the price tag include a tennis court, impressive gardens, a wine cellar, and a little old guest house, in case you're tired of sleeping in the same bed every night but don't like the bar scene. Number 1. The One. $500 million. You knew this one was coming. The biggest mansion in the US, the most expensive mansion in the US, and the property that sat at the top of top 10 lists for a long time. The One. This epic mansion is the brainchild of former movie producer Niall Niami. He started work on this place back in 2013, and he built it in the one neighborhood in the United States such a mansion could ever exist, Bel Air. This mansion covers over 100,000 square feet of space. Trust me, just walking around this place will have you winded. It's a chunker of a building. It's got 21 bedrooms, 42 bathrooms, 2 massive dining rooms, and a 5,500 square foot master suite. This super mega mansion won't just take care of your comfort. It's got all the luxurious qualities smaller mansions have, but bigger. For example, you've got a wine cellar capable of holding more than 10,000 bottles. There are 5 swimming pools on the property, a 36-seat movie theater, and finally, its very own casino and nightclub. I believe my point has been made. And to top it all off, the design of this place is phenomenal. It's got nice minimalist designs, marble walls, and lots of glass. To give you those amazing views of the Los Angeles skyline, you're paying $500 million for. Speaking of which, it turns out selling this massive hunk of house for $500 million has proved to be a bit of a challenge for Niall Niami, meaning it might be facing a court-ordered sale. I guess The One might just be getting booted from its number 1 spot pretty soon. So what do you think about these homes? Found a new place to move to? Or are you packing your bags to head on over to the US? Before you do that though, you should check out our video on the most expensive homes in the world. I'll see you there.